Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club.
Wow, March 12th, almost halfway through March. 2026, no big deal. Got a lot of time to go. Anyways, good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here. As usual, we have Owen Lee in the house. Always fun. Of course, he's off gallivanting around again. Another conference. Man, you guys must have, what do you guys have, like a half a dozen conferences a year? Seriously. I'm seriously asking.
More than that.
Is it really?
More than that. Oh, yeah. Probably a dozen.
You guys are always getting together, talking about stuff.
Well,
aren't you?
I mean, we have one main one, and then, you know, each different part of the industry has a different conference, independent mortgage bankers, secondary, compliance, servicing, you know, all those things.
You know, they got a new service. What's it called? Zoom. That's it. Zoom.
Different kind of servicing.
Different kind of service.
So where are you at now? You're Avon, Colorado?
Avon, Colorado. Yeah, about 2.5 hours west of Denver.
Okay.
A lot of good snow still.
Actually, all the local people talk about is the lack of snow this year.
Really?
Apparently, it's been a very bad snow year. Yes.
In Colorado.
Although it seems to be all around, but just not as much of it.
Interesting.
I got some Colorado stories, Denver stories that I can't talk about.
Yeah.
But I loved Denver, Colorado. It's such a neat area, man. It's cool.
So, dude,
It's beautiful.
One of our
It's gorgeous.
We had like 500 people in the Freedom Club and MMA. It was a members only thing. We had like 500 people show up to this event in Denver, and we'd had just become legal there, you know. And come to find out, like literally right next door to the conference room, literally was a building. I think it was called Green Leaf Industries or something. And that was a disaster. It was a disaster. 'Cause a lot of people were doing the edibles for the first time.
Oh my Lord!
They didn't know. And
on the bright side, when they brought out the afternoon treats, there was not one wasted brownie. Not one.
Is it lunch yet? Yeah.
It was like amateur hour. You know, it was just a disaster. And we went, can't do that again.
Wow, hilarious. Well, hey, let's take a look around. Who do we got
Katie
here?
was there. I see Katie here. So Katie says, I was at that event.
Really? Cool.
I'm surprised you remember going. So I'm just saying.
Hilarious.
But
yeah, I'll give you the bump. I can do that. I have that ability. There you go. You got it. Cool, man. Hey, let's talk to somebody first. Let's talk to Kelly Dutton. Ooh, she's like, oh my, what? Me?
Ooh.
What's going on, Kelly?
I swear.
How's things going at One Click, man? Are you doing some deals? Are you closing some loans?
We're doing some deals. We're doing a lot of deals. We've got a lot of people that are participating. We have a lot of paperwork that hasn't come in, but if it all comes in at one time,
we won't see you for weeks.
I would have to disappear. I would have to work for. I'm on a 13-hour day to 15-hour day right now. So
nice. Well, good. We'll keep it up, lady. We got to get them deals closed. Well, hey, if you need help with anything commercial, man, just the crazy, cool, interesting things that you don't normally do, hit up Kelly Dutton. Work with oneclick.com. She's helping a lot of people here right now, so including me. She's awesome. So make sure you do that. Let's check in on one more person. Let's see. Who do we pick on? Come on, Carl, help me. Who do we say hi to this morning just to see what's going on?
Rex was sitting there going, please call me. Please call me. How you doing, Rex?
You know, it's so funny. I was thinking the same thing.
Is that right? Is that right?
Where you at?
I'm in southern Utah.
Southern Utah.
Yeah.
What part? Where, like what's
St. George area.
Oh God, that is heaven on earth.
And you work with Chauncey, don't you? Or
I do.
Right. Are you guys partners, teammates, or working on the same deals, or what?
Yeah, he's I follow up on leads. We work our leads, and he's the owner of the company, and I work for him.
Okay, good. Nice, nice.
How's business going?
It's I'm starting out. This is my first full year in origination. So
Yeah.
I'm still working on getting things ramped up.
Okay.
My background is in fulfillment, underwriting, processing, so
Okay.
stepping into this space.
So
That's a good.
So ramping things up, like getting started. What's working? Like what is helping you helping to ramp up?
Definitely making those calls. That's huge.
Yeah.
Establishing, building that rapport with folks.
Yeah.
That's another big one.
It's hard to beat that. I tell you, we keep looking for another way, and it's just like it's hard to beat.
We keep
It
looking
really
for
is.
another way. So, are you making most of the outbound calls, Rex, or what's your gig, man? Is that what you do,
Yeah, I'm
or are
making
you
outbound
fielding the
calls.
inbound leads? You're making outbounds.
Yes.
Realtors and clients,
Mostly clients.
mostly clients. What was the most recent totally cool phone call you had?
Well, once you establish the rapport, it's all pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like talking to folks uh, who the veterans. They're very interesting folks to talk to. You
military
know,
veterans.
yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know. Me and Carl are veterans. That's why we're so interesting to talk to.
The most interesting men on this.
Yeah, yeah.
The
That's why
overseas stories are always interesting to hear.
they are. They are. A
Did you go
lot of
overseas, Frank?
them can't be repeated. What's that?
Did you go overseas?
Yes, I was in the Navy on ships.
Yeah.
That's what we did. Yeah, was go
I grew up in
overseas.
Guam.
Oh, you did? I
Wow.
spent time in Guam. I had a very good time
So
in Guam.
yeah, so
In fact, maybe too good of a time. Yeah,
lots of interaction with military folks.
yeah. Guam was very cool. Yeah, you been to Guam, Carl?
I screwed up, man. I had opportunities to go overseas, and I chose to stay in the States. And
But you've never personally like gone to Guam, like 'cause you're a traveling guy. You've
no,
never done that.
I haven't been to that part of that world at all. Like I have never been there.
Uh,
Middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Middle of the ocean.
it is. Yeah, it's neat though. Very, very, very,
Going
very
to
cool place
Switzerland
to
in
be.
6 weeks, so
Huh?
going to Switzerland in 6 weeks. I'm going to Switzerland.
No
Switzerland.
kid. No kidding.
Yeah, I'm going in
Really?
the spring. I wanted to go somewhere with the spring flowers, and I said, "Honey, where do you want to go?" She said, "I want to see some flowers." And I said, I hear there's really nice flowers in Switzerland during the springtime. So that's what we're going to
There
do.
you go.
Never been there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
I've never.
awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
I think it'd be cool
Switzerland.
too. We're going right when the snow's melted in the valleys, but it's still on of course, the Alps.
Yeah, on the peaks. Yeah,
Yeah, it's still up on the mountains. So I thought that'd be really like the tulips and the flowers and everything, and then the snow
yeah,
cap. So I thought, well, that'll be fun. So let's do that. So we're going
yeah.
to 9 days.
Very, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Well, enough chit chat. I mean,
You know,
let's get to. No, we sent an email out about today, Owen, that said you had massive, incredible news. So I'm just hoping that I'm just hoping you don't disappoint, my friend. Owen Lee.
Massive, incredible news.
Yes,
Well,
like it was epic.
We got some massive critical education that we're going to do. I don't know whether or not that counts, but if
It's
you,
good enough for us, brother.
Go ahead.
I said it's good
All
enough
right.
for us. Let's
All
go.
right. Well, I am, as Frank and Carl talked about in the beginning, I am in Avon, Colorado. Just wrapped last night the Mortgage Bankers Association Midwinter Conference, which is a little bit of a different conference because it's smaller and in a smaller place and also close to the press. So we get a lot of CEOs, a lot of speakers, a lot of economic types that come in and talk, and we can talk without watching what we have to say. Usually at MBA functions, there's a lot of Housing Wire, National Mortgage News, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal type stuff. And so we have to be very careful, right? Because that gets repeated in the Washington, D.C. bubble and doesn't usually make conventional national news, but it certainly makes the mortgage press. And so this is a little bit better, but I wanted to talk today about what's going on in the market. Obviously, we've got huge geopolitical news with the military action in Iran and what's going on over there, what's going on with oil, the effect that that's having on oil prices, gasoline prices, interest rates. Oil touches everything. Might be the one product more than anything else that drives inflation or costs staying the same. And we had this wonderful, and Carl, I laugh and I get humbled by the market so often, right? Because I was just on this airway 2 weeks ago saying, just last week, 6% interest rates, 5.98, we hit below 6, looks like it's going to stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got to hop on it, because I think we had interest rates below 6 for about 96 hours. And then,
Give or take.
something.
That's a while.
God, why didn't I just keep my mouth shut? I don't know why I'm fate.
No.
But anyway, obviously we've had a shock to the interest rates. And so I just wanted to break that down. And let's just look at a couple of things. I don't know if we could throw up the first slide. Take a look at what's going on really over the past 10 days and just kind of break it down, talk about it. If you look at inflation, this is before Iran, okay? This is before anything happened 10 days ago. We had a nice drawdown from where we were post-COVID, pretty linear, to be honest. And from the so-called transitory inflation, you can just see it coming down there, down just at about 2.5%. Thank you, Diane. I did do the caveat unless there's a war, but it still doesn't feel good. She put that in the chat. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. And then the change in the core CPI, you can see it almost like a straight line, which is pretty linear, which doesn't happen very often. But it was getting down towards, and of course, this is monthly. The bottom chart is monthly. So you're looking at 0.2, 0.3%, 2.5-ish annualized inflation, which is pretty darn close to the Fed's target of 2. That's why we had a series of interest rate cuts. What was priced into the market beforehand, and we'll look at that in a second, is 2 cuts the back half a year. And then we had Iran. Can we go to the next slide for a second? So it was slowing, but then look at oil. Now, I grabbed this yesterday at about 1 o'clock, this chart on the price of oil. You can see the spike, when we had inflation showing signs of improvement. We went from earlier in the month, oil being around $55 to $60 a barrel, shot all the way up to 95, went up to, then came down to 84, and it's just kind of going up and down. Iran, some mullah or something said yesterday, get ready for $200 a barrel oil, and they shot a missile at some ship in the Straits of Hormuz, and a little bit of a mess. And so oil is elevated. And while oil is elevated at this rate, literally going up, 60%, 70%, that 2.3, 2.4, 2.5% core CPI inflation, I don't think a lot of people think that's going to stay there if oil remains elevated for an appreciable period of time. And so we could just go one step further in the slides. So this is what our market has looked like since then. This is about the last 10 days or so. And if you look at pre-Iran and post-Iran, we're probably down close to 100 basis points. in our market. Again, I grabbed the slide yesterday afternoon. I don't know how the market's opened this morning. Yesterday was a down day. So we're just going up and down, and the market is trying to find itself in a very unstable environment. Nobody really knows how long this is going to last. But at this meeting that just wrapped with the NBA, I met one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my entire life. I probably should have grabbed a slide with a picture, but I wanted to stay in the information. If any of you guys want to Google Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster, I don't know if that name means anything to anyone, political watchers, but he was the national security advisor during Trump 1.0, West Point graduate, retired general, fellow at the Hoover Institute, professor at Stanford now. I got an opportunity, came in to speak to us. I actually got an opportunity. I sat next to him at dinner for an hour, which was so cool. And we talked about, obviously the hot topic of what's going on in Iran. This guy's brain just operates at a different, higher level. I don't really know. He just, when the good Lord was handing out brains, he got an extra helping. I really don't know how to say it. You should be totally thankful that people like this are interested in serving our nation. But he talked a lot about what's going on. And his basic point was the war will continue to go on until Iran loses its ability to affect geopolitics outside of its own borders. That's what he believes the goal is. He's not connected he's retired. He's not connected to the military anymore, doesn't speak for the government. But he was national security advisor during Trump 1.0. And he thinks that's going to take about 5 to 6 more weeks until Iran totally loses its ability to affect geopolitics outside of its own border, which would leave this little 40-mile strip of very important ocean outside of the Straits of Hormuz to allow oil to flow, and oil will then find its much lower base. So I don't take that as gospel truth, but it's from one of the most educated, smart people out there. He thinks it's about 4 to 6 more weeks, give or take. And he was totally, he said, I really don't know if they're going to put boots on the ground in some way. He thinks it's possible in some small way, some incursion, take care of something, paint some targets, whatever. I'm not a military person, but you can kind of follow along there. So it was, so maybe this interest rate environment lasts for 4 to 6 more weeks where we're up and down, up and down, up and down on every piece of news. Going to be a little bit of whiplash. But, I think if we're out there, if we're prospecting, even at 6.25, we were just talking about 5.95 or whatever we had. We lost 80 to 90 basis points in the market. Maybe it pushes us up an eighth or a quarter, depending on how much our borrower wants to pay. Go back and look at those slides. It's still close to the lowest interest rates in 3.5 years. So I think we've definitely got a lot of green pastures. Yes, 6 is better than 6.25. I would never deny that. But based on what we've gone through the past 3.5 years, 6.25, still pretty gosh darn good. We were riding about 7.25 a year ago. So we've got 100 basis points lower in rate. And if anybody would have told us a year ago that we were 100 basis points in rate, that would be pretty good. So I'll just 2 more slides real quick. You can see this is the probability, the official betting market of when interest rates are going to get cut. We had 2 interest rates priced in for June and September. Basically, because of what's happening with the war in Iran, the bets on that were pushed back 60 days. So now the official financial market is betting on 1, maybe 2 cuts in September and December. But I think there's a literal 0 chance we're going to get an interest rate cut with oil at $90 a barrel. So, you got to watch that. And I do think we'll still get a cut. I don't know about 2. I think it's going to be delayed 60 to 90 days because of what's going on. And that's assuming that sticks to about that 6-week time frame. So that's kind of what we've got going on in the market. I just wanted to change gears for one last slide. I always like to give something that you guys can put your name, your information on, send out. This is something that a lot of people should be very concerned about. And it's a narrative that's going on in our industry that I believe is untrue, and it's being publicized by the National Association of Realtors. And they came out with a study, and you can see this is a first-time home buyer chart, age of the first-time home buyer. And if you look at the left where it says NAR, they recently came out with a study that was only on about 10,000 people, which sounds like a lot, but is not a lot when you consider the entire country. And they reported that they believe that the first-time home buyer age is 40. And there's been a lot of other studies. Cotality, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this company. Cotality is a huge data information company. They're also a reseller of credit. So a lot of people on this call probably get their credit reports from Cotality, whether they know that or not. There's been some studies from the home loan banks. There's been a couple of Washington Post studies. There's been a study by the New York Federal Reserve that covered many, many more people than the National Association of Realtors study. Most people who really follow this believe that the age of the first-time home buyer has crept up a little bit, but is somewhere between 32 and 34 years old. And I think this is something we have to speak in the marketplace, because I'm very concerned about a narrative that says first-time home buyer is 40, and you got a person out there who's somewhere between 30 and 40 who thinks, oh, I'm just going to rent again, and they could financially buy. That person's going to be missing out on 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years of home appreciation, of the benefits of home ownership, of the creation of generational wealth. I think because of this study. So there's a lot of people in our industry that are talking to the realtors saying, bag that study, do it again, throw it in a drawer. Not enough people. Statistical anomaly, right? Don't speak this into existence. And so this is something that I would put my information on, become the local expert, talk to your realtors about. Say, hey, you got people in their 30s, get this chart in front of their eyeballs. Because I'm sure the realtor wants to encourage the 34-year-old first-time home buyer to purchase as well. So I would get my name on this, come the local expert, send it to your pre-approved and looking, send it to people in your database, send it to your realtors, talk about this issue. We do not want to speak 40-year-old first-time home buyer into existence. So that's what I got for this morning.
Well, awesome, man. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that. Yeah, that did you put that chart together personally, or did you grab that?
I did not. I borrowed it from the MBA.
Oh, okay.
With permission.
It's an MBA chart. So
it's an MBA chart. Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Greg, you got your hand up. What you got?
Yeah.
Got it. Might be an amateur question for how long I've been in the business, but what's the difference or what's the relationship between, I guess, mortgage-backed security rates and like the actual interest rates we're paying? Because when we moved almost 100 bips in the last week, I figured rates were going to go near the 7s, and that's obviously not what's happening. So how can I explain that better?
No, so when the relationship of mortgage-backed securities to interest rates, the relationship of the price of mortgage-backed securities directly relates to the price of the mortgage, not the interest rate of the mortgage. So when you log into your Optimal Blue or your Poly or whatever, right, and you see the interest rates, it's not 100 basis points into the rate. It's 100 basis points into the cost of the rate. So if 6%, I'm just doing this math to make the math simple for purposes of illustration. If 6% cost 100 basis points or one discount point 2 weeks ago, roughly today, 6% is going to cost 190 basis points or almost 2 points. So the price of mortgage-backed securities directly correlates to the price of the loan, not the interest rate on the note.
Thank you. Okay, got it. So that means like different rates, the pricing is affected differently, right? So when I'm looking at,
Correct.
like the 5.5 or the 5 rate that's changing pricing so much, it might not be changing as much as the 6 and the 6.25 and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, different bands of interest rates that fit into different tranches or buckets of mortgage-backed securities move at different rates. They all don't move uniformly. Usually the rate that the market wants the most, which is a little bit lower than what most people are offering because those loans are going to last the longest, those are the rates that experience the greatest up and down with market movement.
Got it. All right. Excellent. Thanks.
Greg, I just tell them when the moon's in Aquarius, rates go down.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna try that.
yeah.
Wow. Well, Owen, man, thanks so much, man. Everybody so appreciates you every single week, man. We can't thank you enough. You're just
Hey, Owen,
awesome.
is it somewhat safe to say that this thing with I don't know, war, I guess it is, that we're having with Iran, that's likely to be a short-lived thing, according, to the president, and likely a month from now, the oil will be back to normal, and because it seems like I know what Sunday night it was like $120 a barrel, and I think yesterday it was like 85 or 83 or something like that. So it was already kind of normalizing a little bit. Is it safe to say that that'll be no longer part of the mortgage story, at least in the next couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that? Is that likely?
I think that's what I might add a couple of weeks to that, maybe 5 to 6.
Yeah.
But within that 5 to 6 weeks, you're going to see spikes based upon this attack or that picture or this press conference or
So it'd be a good month to
we're in for a bit of a roller coaster.
So it'd be a good month to lock and load then. So when you get a deal, if they like the rate, lock it.
Lock them. Yeah, 100%. Don't play the market. I don't personally think playing the market is a good idea generally, but certainly not in a time of great up and down like we are right now. And like I said, that 4 to 6 weeks, the general that we heard from, and he had a good line. He said, "I just want you to know I'm totally apolitical. I've got no agenda. I'm completely bipartisan. I got fired by both Trump and Biden." So
because my fear in all this, as far as like the volatility of things is, God forbid another country get involved. Like, I don't know, whoever, and I'm not going to name off countries, but somebody else says, "Hey, I don't like what you guys are doing in Iran. I'm going to back them up." And now it spreads a little bit. And then certainly that would extend the timeline for sure. And so
I think that's always a danger in times of uncertainty.
Yeah. Lock and load.
Yeah.
All right. So Owen Lee, thank you, man.
The thing I would think about, just 6.25. I mean, it's still a great rate.
Still a great rate.
In comparison to where we've been don't let it slow you down. Keep going.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry to keep trying to end it, but Carl, I wanted to make sure I got to you before the end of the program today. Owen, thank you, man. Thank you so much, brother. We so appreciate you.
Love it.
Hey, don't break a leg or anything out there skiing, Owen. We need you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Stay away from the green leaf.
I already have 2 fake knees. I'm all good.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Carl, what's happening to animals? Go.
Today we're doing a great class. Our good friend Chris Clock. Chris Clock has a fascinating story. This cat just got into mortgages like 4 years ago. He's already well into his double-digit closings. Really, really, really sharp guy. He gave a presentation at our live event here a couple weeks ago, and I said, "Dude, we need to do that to the class for the people that weren't able to make it." So for our members, he's teaching what he calls leveraged events. And basically, it's like how to take like an event or a gathering or a simple get together even and turn it into more referrals, more relationships. And he's going to talk about, where to hold them, how do you hold them, how do you get somebody else to come up with all the content, how do you fill them up? That's always the hardest part. And then how do you turn those meetings into business? And he's got it mapped out that even if you're an introvert like myself, he's got some really, really, really cool ways to leverage these events. Leverage events is a very, very powerful thing. So make sure you're on the class for our members today. He's going to give you the whole thing, soup to nuts. It's fascinating story this guy's got.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Chris Johnstone tomorrow.
Yeah. Last week we touched on uh, creating custom GPTs. And tomorrow
Right.
we're going to talk about creating an app inside ChatGPT's App Store and how to
Really?
use that to have conversations with qualified real estate agents. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. It's actually a chapter in the book, Frank. So we're going to unpack that tomorrow and talk about how to potentially get ranked inside the ChatGPT App Store, but really how to take that app and turn it into conversations with qualified real estate agents.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
one to
gonna be
make.
sweet.
So lots of great things happening, my friends. Just tune in. That's all you have to do. Be
And
on
you
the
know, Chris,
class today.
I think 5.4 is out now in ChatGPT. I think it's way better. I think 5 was phenomenal. I thought 5.2 was a little ugly,
Clunky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
little
definitely.
wonky.
Yep.
And I think they fixed the wonk in 5. So I think 5.2 was a teenager, right? And maybe was visiting Denver, maybe. And I think 5.4 it's grown up a little bit and has learned moderation. And yeah, 5.4 seems much 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 cleaner than 5.2 for sure.
Mm,
I thought it
yeah.
was super interesting. As soon as the model was released, when I logged in to do my first new chat with it, it asked me some questions. And it was like, how do you want my tone to be? How would you like me to source information? So it's actually customizing itself now to each user. So when you go in, if you haven't used
Hmm.
ChatGPT in a while and you start a new conversation, it'll probably ask you like what type of
Hmm.
language you want it to use with you. So,
Hmm.
Carl, it's incredible to see it, how fast it's moving. And you're absolutely right. It's every time we get a new release, it's that much better.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk about that. I don't want to dive into it now, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. It's going to be a ton of fun.
You know what amazes me about AI, and especially because now, I'm really, Chris, and Carl, you probably do too, that I'm really into Replit and really crafting some amazing things on
Oh
there,
yeah.
is the whole, and I'm not the only one. Like, there's zillions of people around the world that are taking advantage of this. The absolute horsepower that has to be behind AI to make that work the way it works for so many people around the world is just insane. I
Yeah.
mean, there,
Well,
I
dude,
just,
they talk about the amount of energy it takes to power these things
yeah,
is
yeah,
is like it's concerning to them on the grids because it's like a whole nother city. Like
yeah,
literally, like it's like opening up a New York. It's a New York amount of energy powering these computers. I mean, it's
yeah.
crazy.
And the amount of computers and the amount of chips that are
Oh,
needed to
it's
do all of this, it's just got to be off the charts,
the scary part is all those chips are made in one place.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not, see,
That's
got to
the
be
scary.
careful about this
Mhm.
stuff. And I
It
think it was
is.
you,
It's
Carl, or
scary.
maybe it was you, Chris, that was saying that they're looking at, I think Musk is looking at putting all that computing power and everything up in space rather than
Well, I think
occupying.
that was, and I know we're not a political show, but I think that was a big part of the Greenland thing we were hearing about for a little while, and maybe that's still going, maybe
Oh,
it's not, but they have all this ice the cooling of these things consumes an enormous amount of energy. And so I think that was part of the Greenland thing. It's not just that there's
Interesting.
oil under their ice, but because there's ice there, everybody
Yeah.
knows Greenland's full of ice.
Easier to
It's
keep things cool.
easier to keep things cool. But you rest assured, Elon's going to have them up in space in a very short period of time.
Yeah, because
Very short
then you
period
could
of time.
have kind of unlimited room and space to,
Yeah.
have massive things floating around up there or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
those would
made
be
a mistake.
targets for enemies. I don't know.
Boy, to come back 50 years from now, it would, hey, I got a shocker for you.
What is it?
I was riding my bike yesterday
I'm
and
stunned.
it hit me. So Back to the Future, you want to get weirded out?
Yeah.
You want to get
Yeah.
weirded out? So Back to the Future, when it came out, he went back 30 years to meet his parents, right? And it was all archaic in the 50s and all that other thing.
Right.
If they were to do Back to the Future today, it would go back to 1996.
Wow. That's wild.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks.
Ouch.
Yeah. What a trip.
1996. Like that would be way back to 1996.
Yeah, all the way back. And it was archaic.
I know. Isn't that funny to think of it that way?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, good stuff. Thanks for hanging out and shucking and jiving with us, everybody. Glad to have you here. And hey, we'll be here tomorrow. Chris Johnstone. We're going to build apps apparently now in ChatGPT. That's going to be crazy. So good stuff, man. Hey, thanks everybody. Appreciate you all. Let's have a great day. We'll see you here mañana. Adios. See ya.
Have a great day, everybody.